Someone is replaying your voice right now. Right now, not a whole conversation, not some big dramatic speech, just one thing you said, one line, and the thing is, you don't even remember saying it. You said it and you moved it. You went and did the dishes, answered the text, fell asleep. Oh, you closed the door on it, the way you close the door on 100 little moments a day. But they did not close the door. They still standing in it, still holding that one thing you said, turning it over and over like a stone they found in their pocket and can't figure out how to put down. And I need you to understand something, because we go any further. This is not flattery. This is just what's happening. You probably noticed it without having words for it. You have probably noticed that people go a little quiet sometimes right after you talk. Just for a bit, the tiny pause where something lands heavier than you meant it to. You have probably noticed people look at you a second too long, like they're waiting to see if you say anything, another one, and you have probably noticed, and this is the one that gets people. You have probably noticed that you are often the last person in the room to realize your own words carried weight. That's not an accident. That is real. That is real. You are not making this up. I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like the kind of thing you tell yourself when you want to feel important. But that is not what this is. This is the opposite of that, because you never went looking for this. You were not performing. You were not trying to land a line. You just said the true thing in the plain way you say things, and it went somewhere in someone that you'll never fully see. Let me be really specific. There is a certain kind of person who spends their whole life underestimating the size of their own footprint. They talk and they assume it evaporates. They comfort someone and assume it was forgotten by morning. They tell a hard truth and brace for damage instead of understanding that the truth they told might be the thing someone builds the next 10 years of their life around. You are the kind of person you have been for a long time. So, here is what nobody tells you. Words don't land where you threw them. They land where the other person is standing. And you have no idea where people are standing when you speak. You can't. You said your one thing on an ordinary afternoon and it walked straight into a room inside somebody that had been dark for years, and it turned the light on, and you were on even in the building. Think of a specific moment. Maybe it's a Tuesday, nothing special about it. You're somewhere ordinary, the corner of a kitchen, a car with engine still ticking, a hallway, a text thread at 11 at night, and you say the thing. Not a wise thing, not a rehearsed thing, just honest. Maybe you said, you don't have to keep proving it. Maybe you said, I saw what you did there and it mattered. Maybe you just said, you're allowed. 5 words, 6. And in your world, that sentence lasted 3 seconds and was gone. In their world, oh, in their world it's still going. It did not stop. It's an echo. And the strange thing about an echo is it does not get quieter the way it's supposed to. It comes back around. At 2 in the morning, it comes back in the shower, it comes back in the middle of the completely different conversation, and they lose their place because your voice cut across it. They do that. They do. And here is what most people don't understand about being the one who said the thing. You will always feel like less happened than actually happened. Always. Because you experienced it from the inside, where it was small and quiet and casual. They experience it from the receiving end, where it was the exact sentence they had been needing anyone to say out loud for longer they had admit. That's the gap. That's the whole gap you have been living inside your whole life. You feel ordinary. You keep landing like weather. Let me be specific about how this actually works, because I don't want you to think I'm being vague and pretty about it. A person walks around all day defended. All day. They have got the face on, the tone on, the little rehearsed answer ready. Fine, good, busy. You know how it is. That's most of what people are doing at any given moment. Managing the surface so nobody gets in. And you can't argue your way past the surface. You can't. Cleverness bounces like off it. Advice bounces off it. The only thing that ever slips underneath is the plain, unarmed truth. True thing said by someone who was not trying to get in. That's the key that fits, and you keep handing people the key without even knowing it's in your hand. Here is what nobody tells you. The reason it replaces is not that it was profound. It's that it was underfunded, and underfunded is so rare that a person's whose nervous system sits up when it finally hears it. They were not praised for it, because you were not performing it. So it went past every wall they had, and now it's inside. And the inside is where things echo. Think of one more moment. Late. Somebody lying in the dark, doing that thing where the day replies itself uninvited. And stupid things they said in a meeting, the text they should not have sent, and then, right in the middle of all that noise, your sentence surfaces. Clean, quiet, and it's the one part of the whole reel that does not make them wince. It's the one part that makes their chest loosen a little, so they hold on to it. They play it again on purpose this time, like pressing a warm hand to the cold spot. That's what your one thing became. A place they go to feel less alone at hour when everybody feels most alone. And you slept right through it, and something shifted in you, and I want you name it, because I don't think you have let yourself notice it. There was a version of you that filtered everything. You know the one. The you that ran every sentence through a checkpoint before it left your mouth. Is this too much? Is this too honest? Will this make it weird? Should dramatically? You just started letting the true sin come out in its plain clothes, without dressing it up, without checking it at the door. You started trusting that what you actually thought was allowed to exist in the air between you and another person. You have not become someone different. You just stopped hiding. That's it. That is the whole change. You stopped translating yourself into a more acceptable version before you spoke. And the second you stopped doing that, your words started carrying something they could not carry before. They started carrying you. And people can feel the difference between a sentence someone's managing and a sentence someone actually means. They can feel it in their body. The real one goes deeper. The real one is the one that gets replayed. So now, let me tell you about them. The one who can't stop. They are not okay, and I mean that it in the gentlest way. Not okay like something is wrong, okay like something got moved and has not settled back down. They have replayed it enough times that they have started doing something almost embarrassing, something they had never tell you. They have started wondering if you even meant it. Not because they doubt you, because they can't believe something that landed at the heart came out of you that easily. They keep thinking, surely they thought about that. Surely they was deliberate. And it was not. And that is what's undoing them. They have probably told someone, yeah, there is a decent chance that at some point in the last little while, your one sentence came out of somebody else's mouth. Prefaced with, someone said this to me and I can't stop thinking about it. Your words are walking around in the world without you. They got passed to a friend, a sister, a stranger. Oh, and none of those people know it started with you on an ordinary afternoon, not trying to do anything at all. And they have started noticed you differently, not in a way they had announced, just where before you were part of the furniture of their life, a familiar face. Now there is a small charge whenever your name comes up. A little more attention than the situation calls for. They catch themselves wondering what you are doing, what you think, whether you meant more than you said or exactly what you said. And honestly, they can't decide which one would be more overwhelming. Not because they don't care, because they care more than they were ready to. And they did not sign up for that. And it started with a sentence they can't even quote back perfectly anymore, because they have worn the edges off from handing it. And they check. This is the part. They check to see if you will do it again. Next time you talk, some part of them leans in a half-inch, waiting not for anything in particular, just for that thing you do, that thing where the truth arrived without the armor. They are near reaching. They are not reacting to who they think you are. They are reacting to what you reflected back at them. You handed them a version of themselves they had stopped believing was real, and now they can't unsee it, and they keep coming back to the mirror that showed it to them. That's you. You are the mirror. You just did not know you were holding one. Now, here is where I need you to loosen your grip on something, because I can feel you starting to hold it. You don't have to manage this. Let them replay it. Let them turn it over at 2 in the morning. Let it not a job you have been assigned. You are not responsible for what you honestly does after it leaves you. Let them wonder if you meant it. You don't owe anybody the receipt on your own sincerity. Let it be bigger for them than it was for you. Let asymmetry, the gap between how small it felt and how large it landed, that's not a debt you have to make even. You don't have to shrink to match the smallness you felt, and you don't have to inflate to match the size it became. You just get to be the person who said the truth in and kept walking. And I know somewhere in you there is an old worry that says, if my words are that powerful, I have to be more careful, I have to watch what I say, I have to go back to filtering. No, that's exactly backwards. You don't have to become more careful, you have to become more free. Because the thing that made your words land was not precision, it was that you finally stopped guarding the door. The moment you start guarding it again, the realness goes, and the realness was the whole medicine. You are not being careless when you speak plainly. You are being generous. Those aren't the same thing, even though your old self could not tell them apart. And you are not too much. God, you spent so long afraid of being too much. The exact quality you were apologizing for, the honesty, the way you say the real thing in the plain way, that is the thing people are carrying home and keeping. Your too much is somebody finally, and it always was. So here is what I see coming. You are moving into strange, where you stop being the last person to know your own weight. That gap I told you about, the one you have lived inside your whole life, is closing. Not because you are going to start performing, but because you are going to start believing the evidence. You are going to say the true thing, and instead of assuming it evaporated, you are going to let yourself notice the pause. Understand? The lingering look, the way the room reorganizes around something you said and did not plan. New people are already turning toward that. People who have been starving for someone who says the real thing without making a production of it. They are fighting you, they are finding you, and some of them found you a while ago and just have not told you yet. New rooms are opening where your plainness is not too much. It's the exact frequency the room was tuned for. You don't have to chase any of it. You have already chosen this. You chose it the day you stopped swallowing yourself. This is your moment to stop bracing every time you are honest, to stop waiting for your truth to cause damage and start letting it do what it actually does, which is find the dark room is someone and turn the light on and leave it on long after you have gone. So, somewhere out there, right now, your voice is still going, one thing you said still echoing in someone who needed it, still coming back around at the hours when the house goes quiet. You did not do that on purpose, that's exactly why it worked. You are not small, you never were. You just handed like weather and mistook it for nothing. Say this true thing. Let it echo. Let them keep it. I see you. I really do. Love your realness.